You don't have personal style, and it's not your fault. You know, when you're standing in front of your closet trying to figure out what to wear, and there's so many clothes, but you literally hate all of them? Somewhere between like doom scrolling fit checks and trying to find those one pants from that one Pinterest photo, we got lost. Lately, I've just been sitting here like, what do I even like? My wardrobe just feels like a graveyard of like baggy pants and afterpay purchases that felt like a good idea at 3 a.m. Somewhere along the line, our personal style got lost in the algorithm. Because as fashion people, whether we like it or not, we do look to others for influence. It's just part of following our curiosity. We all participate in like a kind of collective consciousness. But as the algorithm pushes fashion creators to dress louder and wilder just to be seen, the collective style has like spiraled into this place where it doesn't even make sense anymore. And I get why we all do it because it's exciting. Let's say you saw those acne jeans and they looked so good, so you worked extra shifts and you saved and you got them. And now everyone's saying that you look great and you're getting good comments and you feel like finally you're being perceived the way that you want to be perceived. But then, of course, the next jeans come. Your jeans are old now. Everyone's seen them. Are you going to work those extra shifts and save up again for the next jeans? No, obviously not, because that's insane. And after this cycle repeats itself enough times with all this money spent and nothing to show for it, a new kind of anxiety starts to set in. An anxiety that's like unique to the modern fashion person. If I don't buy this, I won't be perceived as who I feel I am. But I also know that this cycle isn't going to end. For me, my personal style has been informed a lot more by subculture than like high fashion or trends. I grew up super involved in the punk and hardcore scene here in Australia, which was my kind of first exposure to fashion as like an identity or a purpose. But coming from a smaller city in Australia, the punk scene was basically comprised of just like anyone who wasn't normal. It was basically just like people who were interested in art or culture or just basically freaks who had nowhere else to go. And everyone would go to these weekly punk shows because honestly, there wasn't really anything else to do at the time. But where I grew up, you couldn't like dress up really, or else like people would like throw things at you from their cars, or you would at least be risking some sort of verbal abuse. So when I moved to a bigger city, Melbourne, when I was 22, it was like this whole new world of being able to like dress up and express yourself through fashion. And of course, I did go through the typical stages of developing a personal style. Like you start like emulating your favorite celebrities, and then you learn more about brands, and you make lots of mistakes, and over time you just refine your taste. But since I grew up really exposed to like a kind of honesty in fashion, I try to use that in my current career as a stylist. So when the wave of like TikTok fashion and micro trends started, just like everyone else, like I found it exciting as well. But as I reflect on like my own experience and background of fashion as an identity, I realized that sometimes scrolling through TikTok feels like walking through a food market where every stall is selling the same thing. And it's not the creator's fault either, especially for the ones who are like, making a living off these platforms or building a business off of them. If someone is like doom scrolling 100 reels a minute, you've got a split second to catch that person's eye, or else no reach, no brand deals, and I guess civilization will collapse. So the outfits get louder, the jewelry gets bigger, the pants get baggier, and the tops get smaller. And it's all taking place like in front of a brick wall or at a zebra crossing for some reason. And I don't have anything against this. Like, content creators, get your bag, that's totally fine. But where does it leave us as the fashion consumer or like the fashion lover? Just to be clear, there are three types of people in this world. There's people who just genuinely don't care about fashion, don't care about what they wear. Cool, that's cool. There's people who want to like look put together but aren't necessarily interested in pushing a boundary or experimenting. That's also great. Everyone can just do whatever they like, it's fine. But then there's us, and if you've clicked on this video, you're one of us. People who see fashion as an art form, as like a means of expression. We want to follow our curiosity and try new things, and we're interested in design, etc., etc. That's us. So where does this algorithm fashion leave us? For me at least, it leaves me confused. I don't care how much of an individual you see yourself as, we all draw inspiration from each other. It's natural, like humans are social and communal creatures. We see what the people around us are wearing, we take that influence and we add it to our arsenal. We dress for like the energy of where we live, our surroundings, our social conditions, and the zeitgeist, That's why like Parisian style or Tokyo style or New York style is so iconic, because those people are just as much of a fixture of those cities as like the Eiffel Tower or Shibuya Crossing. But the algorithm doesn't care about your environment. It shows you what's trending in someone else's world. Probably someone much richer than you in a different city who's just dressing for clicks. It's taking away that fundamental thing of taking the time to find yourself, so we end up in this endless fashion echo chamber. Because when enough people do it, the spell breaks and everyone looks exactly the same. In cities that have always been known for bold and distinctive style, we're seeing this like eerie sameness. So, is this the end of personal style? Are we going to be stuck in the algorithm forever? No, of course not. I feel like personal style isn't dead, it's just kind of dormant. What the algorithm has done is trigger like a cultural oversaturation to the point where the new flex is to be offline. We've seen the internet over the last 5 years become an increasingly hostile place, not to mention the mental strain of comparing yourself to every influencer. So I think what we're going to see more and more is people who know what's good, know what the best places to eat are, know what the hottest fashion is, but don't have to have it spoon fed to them by an algorithm. I guess what I'm trying to say is culture as a whole seems to be shedding the social media reliance. And with that, we will see the resurgence of personal style. What I personally love is seeing people re-wearing the same outfits, or at least the same items more than once. Is it not so silly that we see fashion influencers wear a completely different outfit every day? Don't you own something that you just love that you want to wear all the time? As I've gotten older and started caring less, I find myself wearing pretty much the same thing every day. I have a uniform and every day it feels good and every day I know that I look how I want to look. Obviously, I still have days where I feel like stepping out or, trying something new. But if I'm just like meeting a friend for lunch or taking the dog for a walk, I just put on my uniform and I feel like me. Like, what a relief. You can love fashion and you don't have to own everything. And this is the difference between appreciation and acquisition. The algorithm convinces us that we need to buy everything cool that we see or we need to buy everything that we like. But why? Yohji Yamamoto is one of my favorite designers ever. Like, I love his designs, but I don't own a single piece by him. Maybe one day I will, but I still, follow his work. I still feel something when I see his collections. And for now, that's enough for me. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I guess what I'm trying to say is personal style is not beyond saving. It's been drowned out by noise, but it's still there. I don't think fashion content will disappear. I mean, people will still make it and we're still going to enjoy it and share it. But I think it'll be about our attitude. Maybe we'll treat it more like reference material and not like a shopping list. Personally, I'm a big believer in collective consciousness in fashion. I think the fashion community moves together and feels the same ways at the same time. So here's what I've been doing to reclaim personal style, I guess. One way is just by being more critical, trying to actually think about what I'm looking at. When you see something online, just think like, is this striking? Does it suit that person's body? Would it suit mine? How does it move? If you're wearing this in the real world, is it still going to look good or will it look stupid? And the answer I've found more often than not is no, that will not look good in the real world. There's other things like, of course, quality over quantity is a huge one. I don't think I have to spell that out to any of my audience. Also, re-wearing things and loving your clothes, we've kind of already covered that. But I think the biggest thing is seeking your inspiration beyond screens. More and more often when I'm walking down the street, I try to consciously look at the people around me. Recently, I've been going on long walks through the city for the sole purpose of finding inspiration. And this is so corny, but like, consume more art. Go to museums or take influence from the architecture that you're surrounded by. Again, it's so corny, but often when I'm doing this, I do find something that will move me and inspire me. And I can kind of take that inspiration and that vibe and apply it to what I want to wear. I find from observing the world around me that a lot of my style icons aren't even on the internet. They're like retired school teachers or baristas or literally whoever. Iris Apfel said, "Fashion you can buy, but style you possess. The key to style is learning who you are, which takes years. There's no how-to roadmap to style. It's about self-expression and above all, attitude." Which I guess is just what I've spent this entire video trying to say. But just think of that and contrast that with this quote from Karl Lagerfeld. "Trendy is the last stage before tacky." And I think you'll really get what I'm trying to say here. Personal style isn't a fixed thing. It evolves as we do. It follows us through like our different stages of life. And if it feels gone, it's probably just because it's hidden under layers of noise. So just take a step back, take a deep breath. You probably already know what you like. Like and subscribe.